As Oasis gears up to rock 250,000 fans, we're live from Knebworth.
By Sunday night, Oasis will have played to more than 1/3 people in just over 1 week.
Hi, this is Jo Wiley welcoming you to a rather special event, the live gig of the decade.
In just over 3 years, Oasis will have gone from being a new signing to one of rock's true giants.
Was definitely like a fucking Ferrari. Great to look at, great to drive, and it'll fucking spin out of control every now and again when you go too fast.
We're just lads from a council estate. Two brothers, head cases. Oasis's greatest strength was the relationship between me and Liam. It's also what drove the band into the ground in the end, you know what I mean?
The Bible, yeah. Oh, what are them two guys called? Abel and fucking... Abel and Cable. Abel and Cable, yeah. Was Adam and Eve, yeah? They had two sons, yeah? These two sons had a fight one day. One fucking stabbed the other in that. Right, this is in the Bible, man. Get to fuck. That's what it's all about. That's why we'll be the best band in the world, because I fucking hate that swat. No, it's not hate. It's love. It's you hate. Not hate. I don't hate him. I love him. He doesn't hate me, I know he doesn't. He loves me. What you're saying is complete and utter fucking blasphemy.
For me, music, I wasn't into it until like when I was about 16, 17 maybe. Or anyone with a guitar or in a band I thought was a bit suspect, you know what I mean? And like, I'd hurl abuse at him. He used to share a room with Noel. A bit of a stoner, bit of a loner. You know, he had a guitar, so he was copping for it, you know what I mean?
Always very quiet now.
Always in his room with a piece of paper and a pen, and he'd be writing.
Always strumming a guitar. Many's the time I went up and I knocked that guitar. I said, bloody guitar, you get on my bloody nerves.
Yeah, I mean, once I discovered weed and guitars, and you got into another world, what would you want to go out for? Everything I ever wanted in life was coming out of the speakers. I don't know why me and Liam would be so different. We both had the same childhood, do you know what I mean?
He was a devil, Liam. full of it. Yeah.
Sort of attention seeker. Robbing your clothes, robbing your records, robbing you this, robbing you that, robbing your money.
Definitely a bit of a show-off, but not to the point where it's like fucking, you know, Bonnie Langford, you know what I mean? Or one of them little fucking brats with jazz hands.
Well, Liam was, allegedly, he was the cock of the school. No one messed with him. I think one day, some rival school turned up and boshed him on the head with an hammer.
We were stood there having a cig. I remember all the lads coming down. This kid's pulled out this little fucking hammer and went whack on my head. Blood everywhere. Got out of fucking double math, so that was all right.
I've got a perfect alibi for that, so it's not to do with me.
From that day on, I know it sounds stupid, but it was like as if something had fucking clicked, you know what I mean? I started hearing music, it started making sense, you know what I mean? So, whoever he is, thank you.
Somebody hammered the music into him. He's got a fucking lot to answer for, hasn't he?
All my life existed then was like going to sign on, getting me cash, cashing me dough, going into Sifters, getting a record, buying some weed, going into Greg's, going back home and fucking blasting it out and getting soaked in it. I was just obsessed with being in a band, just fucking obsessed, man.
Actually, I never thought Liam was interested in music until he used to sit out there in the kitchen and say, I'm going to be famous one day, he said, and you're going to be really proud of me. I said, am I? I said, well, I hope it's before I start pushing up daisies, because we need the money now. You know, and then, of course, Bonehead started coming around, and Tony McCarroll and Gwigsy. That's when Liam formed the band.
I knew Bonehead and I knew Gwigs, and they were in a band called The Rain. They'd heard I was cool and had my epiphany and all that bollocks.
Someone in passing just said, you know, Liam wanted to be in a band. Liam came round to my house, but his voice was just like, whoa, you know, it's like, yeah.
I used to live my life in vain until today. It's been the same. I've gone away.
It wasn't the Liam we all know. A bit more softer, a lot more melodic. And obviously his look. I mean, he looked like Liam's always looked, you know. He had a great haircut, great walk. I'll have a bit of that.
He went, right, look, do you want to be in this band? I says, yeah, but we'll have to change that fucking name now because it's terrible. And there was a poster in our room with the Spiral Carpets. It certainly wasn't about Swindon Oasis. It was like, you know, there was a kebab shop called Oasis. There was a fucking taxi rank called Oasis. It's that fucking name keeps coming up, Oasis. Kind of a little bit out on our own. I just thought Oasis, sounds good.
I'm not in Oasis at this point. I'm not in a band. I've no intention of being in a band. I'm just part of a road crew for Spiral Carpets, trying not to get sacked from this job because I've fucking blagged my way into it and I'm an absolute chancer.
The main thing was like getting Noel in the band.
Good morning.
He was the songwriter.
He's a tight bastard.
In my head, I thought he'll come off tour and he sees that we're doing it, instead of talking about it, he'll want to join our band and he'll do the business.
No. How's things? Just like the way they are. Cool and that. Easy, yeah? Amsterdam, innit? Amsterdamish. Yeah.
I'd done a couple of tours of America. I'd been to Argentina. I'd been to Japan. As far as they went, I went with them. I met Mark Cole, sat at the back of the tunnel, smoking weed and doing the monitors.
And that's how I met Noel, pulling his fucking face, because this is his thing. He's the roadie for that band. And as soon as we started talking, we were fucking best mates straight away. There's one thing I'd remember about Noel, is that he never had a fucking dirty hand, but he loved that band. They were all terrified of him, and he's just the boss all the way from the minute go I met him.
I thought we were great. I mean, clearly we weren't, because we did get fired. Separately got fired by the band for being unprofessional and somewhat unapproachable by various tour managers. Lazy cunts. Yeah.
I'd like to thank the Spiral Carpets for sacking him. Well done.
We had some great, funny fucking times. I wasn't sitting at the side of the stage tuning guitars thinking, one day this is going to be me. I thought that I'd arrived at that point and that was it. I thought, this will fucking do me. Do you know what I mean? was doing a gig in Munich. Somebody sound checking a bass drum. Boom. 1, 2, 1, sibilance. Yeah, I just phone home on a Sunday. Phone my mum.
Who's Noel?
On the phone, just a minute. Oh, I got it out here.
All right.
Hello? How are you, Noel? Are you all right? Just doing Lean's washing for him. Doing his dirty washing for him.
But anyway, chatting away about family stuff, and then I said, how's Liam? Oh, he's out rehearsing. What for? He's not joined the Shakespeare fucking group, is he? Oh, no, he's in a band. What? Doing what? He's the singer. He's the singer. He can't fucking sing. Oh, I don't know now. He said he's the singer. And that was it. And then they kind of got home, and our Paul's going, oh, yeah, he's in this band. They're pretty fucking good, you know. And then they were playing at the local band night on at the boardwalk, and I went down to see him.
Take me when I'm young and free. Was it me or was it you? Take me when I'm not so strong. Why is it taking you so long?
And I was like, wow, fuck, I remember being pretty impressed. They had their own songs, and Liam didn't look that out of place.
He's singing. After all the times I sat in our bedroom with an acoustic guitar and you used to tell me to shut up, now you've decided you want to be a fucking singer. Oh, what you fucking say out before you? You know what I mean?
The first thing they said when they came and said, what do you think? So it's fucking great. And they said, we was thinking, would you fancy being our manager? I was like, what? The fuck are they talking about? No. And they were like, oh, because you know loads of people and all that. I'm not sure about that. I think you get a better manager than me. And then a couple of weeks later, Liam said, come and fucking jam with us. You know, so I went and sat in with them, and I was playing their tunes, and it was great. And then I think the second time I went, Liam was going, yeah, play him that fucking song that you played us. And then once everybody all joined in, and you hear this thing that you've, in inverted commas, written, being played back to you in this room, and it's like, wow, fucking hell, that's amazing. It just went from there, really. Played back, and it was really a mega moment, and then it went nowhere for 2 years. So I mean, there is the myth that I kicked open the fucking rehearsal room door to the theme tune from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly and said, everybody stop what they're doing, I am here to make us all millionaires. You know, there wasn't that at all, you know what I mean?
No, the truth is he got on his hands and knees and said, listen, I'll do anything, just please let me be in your band. I said, get up off your hands and knees, son, you're all right, you can do it. I think I've got a picture of it somewhere.
For that 18 months, 2 years, we never gave up. If nothing else, we were dedicated.
If we're going to get rid of Phil Collins and Sting, junk food music, McDonald's music, we've got to get in the charts and stamp them out. Do you know what I mean? I want the severed head of Phil Collins in my fridge by the end of this decade, and if I haven't, I'll be a failure.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. That was our home for a bit. When everyone was in the hacienda popping pills and that, and all my mates would be knocking on the door going, what are you doing tonight? Going down to the fucking rehearsal room. The whole fucking city was like just immersed in this music that didn't make sense to me, you know what I mean? We weren't the best musicians, but we had spirit, man, and that was lacking massively at that point.
I always thought that we were greater than the sum of our parts, do you know what I mean? Bonehead, he was kind of the glue that held it all together. God bless him. If anything, I'd say Bonehead was the spirit of Oasis.
He's a top musician and all, Bonehead. He's like, he can play anything. But he's a mental cunt, and I loved his mad side, so me and him would get up to mad shit together, you know what I mean?
Quiggs brought a calmness to it all. He never got flustered. Loved cricket and Doctor Who and weed and Man City. I'd say fifth after that was being in Oasis. I'd say that came a lowly fifth.
Quiggsy chilled out motherfucker, man. Lovely lad, but just a complete and utter fucking stoner.
Tony was a person that I shared a room in the early days, you know, and I really got on with Tony. Really nice person. Very Irish in his ways, you know. Came from a massive Irish family.
Definitely the quiet one. The one that was most reserved. None of them lot had kids, none of them had responsibility. I had a different outlook on life. I always had my daughter in the back of my head. That moulded me.
Oasis was going for about maybe 6 months, a year. And I was writing songs just to amuse myself. And then one night I went down with the song and everything changed.
Maybe I don't really want to know how your garden grows, 'cause I just want to fly. Lately, did you ever feel the pain? The morning rain soaks you to the bone. Maybe I just wanna fly. I wanna live, I don't wanna die. Maybe I just wanna breathe. Maybe I just don't believe. And maybe you're the same as me. We see things they'll never see. You and I, we're gonna live forever.
And Bonehead, he was saying, you've not just fucking written that. That's no way that's your song.
Well, I wouldn't believe it. For someone to come in a room and just go, I'll play one of my songs and then play You Live Forever, it's like, fuck off. You didn't write that. And he's like, why didn't I? I was like, because listen to it, you know. Wow, what a song. You didn't write it. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't.
I knew enough about music and about songs to know that that was a great song. And then one followed another. And it's like, no, this is happening now. Even if no one else takes any notice of it, this is happening.
I didn't really get involved with the music kind of thing. I was like, look, that's your thing, you do that, I'll just be cool as fuck over there.
Once they were in a band, I knew they weren't going to listen to me about steady jobs. They were up and down the country, like, and I'd say, oh, well, you might be lucky tonight. And I'd say to Noel, any luck, Noel? No. Then they'd go off again somewhere else. I spend my life worrying about them.
We didn't have one single paragraph written about us, ever. No one even said we were shit. Completely and utterly fucking ignored.
I kind of had a feeling it had happened, man. I don't know what the consequences would have been without it happening, because it was like, if it didn't happen, the world would be black, you know what I mean?
We were sharing a rehearsal room with an all-girl band called Sister Lovers. Unbeknown to us, one of the girls in the band, Debbie Turner, God bless Debbie, was an ex-girlfriend of Alan McGee's. The head of the coolest record label in England. We were asking them what they were up to, and they're saying, we're going up to do this gig.
I think I was probably being quite cocky, actually, in saying, oh, no, we're playing in Glasgow, which then, for an unsigned band to get a gig outside of Manchester, that was like playing Glastonbury.
And we were like going, how the fuck have you got a gig? And not us.
She said, why don't you come with us? Be on the bill kind of thing. And we were like, yeah, Glasgow, fuck it, let's do it. For the pure love of it. If we all put in 25 quid each, we can hire a splitter van, we get up there, kip in the van, do the gig, get back. Yay!
So we hired a van out, smoking weed, all the nonsense, drinking. You know, in them days where you just go, it's fucking gonna be the day today. Maybe it was the drugs or something.
We get there really early, and we said, we're Oasis from Manchester, we can't play tonight. And the guy said, there's no band down here. He said, yeah, it's all right with Debbie. And he's like, no, no fucking way.
I think we said, well, if they're not playing, we're not going to play. We'll do a really short set, which wasn't hard, because I think we only had 5 songs anyway. Then Oasis were allowed to play.
So we went on, we got to do 4 songs, and we didn't think anything of it.
Debbie didn't even know that I was coming up to that gig being an evil, twisted fucker. I thought
I would show up to put her on edge. Applause. I really do believe some things are meant to fucking be. I was standing there with my kid sister Susan. She immediately went, "You should sign these," and I'm like, "Let's hear the second song." And it was like, "I'm signing these," and third song, "I'm definitely signing these."
And I sort of like went up to Noel and I said, "I'm Alan McGee, do you want a record deal?"
And I said, "Who with?" And he went, "Creation Records," and I kind of recognised him, and that was it.
I knew it was going to happen. Well, I knew. It's all fate, you know what I mean? I understand it, mate, now, fate. Fate's the word to something. Alan McGee was meant to be in that club tonight anyway. He was meant to be there. Totally. It's as simple as that.
I don't remember anybody high-fiving in the back of the van thinking, "Hey, this is it." I remember going back to Manchester and getting in to where I was living at, 6 o'clock in the morning. And my then Mrs. Louise was getting ready to go to work. And I said, "Creation Records have offered us a record deal," and she started crying. She knew then that, that was going to be the end of us.
I remember the day he came back and told me he had the record deal. And of course I thought, oh, this is great. I never really thought it would go the way it did, though. And Liam says, "All I want, Mum," he said, "is to earn a bit of money," he says, "and get myself some new clothes." And then it went haywire.
Mum was an angel, still is. Not impressed by all this rock and roll business, and rightly so.
Yeah, when I think of those times, you know what I mean? She kind of brought us up on her own, really. And 3 lads, particularly one of them being Liam, it's very tricky. I mean, she gave it all up for us, you know what I mean?
They wanted to make her proud, wanted to, get her from stop doing, 3 fucking jobs, put her feet up, you know what I mean, have nice things.
I hated it when I came over here first. It was a big shock, I'm telling you. To come to a big city like Manchester. Oh, I must have cried for about 6 months. It was after the New Year, I think it was 1963. Went to the Carousel and met him there. Tommy Gallagher. We got married after about 9-10 months. And that was it. He was lovely when I met him, Paul arrived 10 months after I was married. Then Noel arrived a year after that again.
We were dressed identical. She used to knit our clothes. So imagine, you got no choice. You couldn't say, "I don't like that, Mum," but she's just spent 4 years knitting you a jumper.
Liam arrived 5.5 years after. It was great. No, that was the best time with the kids. I think there was always that bit of jealousy with Liam and Noel. I idolised Paul and Noel because there were only the 2 of them. And Noel was absolutely beautiful when he was a baby. And then, of course, Liam comes along. It takes the limelight off you. Probably thought, oh, but you could tell the disagreement sort of was there with them. I was glad they were together in a band. I would not have wanted Liam in a band without Noel. But it all happened too quick. Just too quick altogether.
Good evening, Great Britain. Hello.
Oasis, are you down there?
Certainly are.
You fancy having a bit of a chat?
Go on then.
Go on then. There is a story about you lot getting signed to Creation. Alan McGee saw you in a club in Glasgow, is that right?
Don't believe the hype.
No, I did, yeah. There was 7 people there, I think, and he was 2 of them.
Right.
And signed us there, and then on the spot.
Was he drunk?
He actually thinks we're the greatest band in the fucking world. He's phoned me up at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, going, "No, man, we're gonna annihilate the fucking world, man."
McGee wanted to Bring It On Down to be the first single. And I was fine with that. I loved that song.
It's punk. You're the outcast, you're the underclass. You don't care, but you're living fast. I just loved it.
I can't say why Bring It On Down was chosen, but it wasn't coming together. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with it,
I mean, it would become apparent why that session didn't work. It's because our drummer at the time wasn't the most consistent from one fucking bar to the next, never mind one day to the next.
And that's his big moment. That's that fucking riff. Just fucking do it in time, son.
Fucking hell, we're up against it here. We've not recorded anything. Why I chose to write a new song as opposed to record any of the others off Definitely Maybe, it's still a little bit of a mystery.
Noel's got the riff, but that's all he's got. So they're just kind of knocking this little thing, which all bands do, you know, little riff.
Someone had sent out for Chinese or fish and chips or something, or Chinese fish and chips. I went in the back room, and as bizarre as it sounds, wrote Supersonic in about however long it takes 6 other guys to eat a Chinese meal.
And he came back in the room with us and he said, look, just written another song. And we nailed it and mixed it that night, rapid, because that's what we've been doing every night in the boardwalk, you know? And it sounded massive.
Give it up for Oasis, making their TV debut with Supersonic.
I need to be myself. I can't be no one else. I'm feeling supersonic. Give me gin and tonic. You can have it all, but how much do you want it? Make me laugh.
We'd done gigs before that, and there were people coming along because they'd read about us in the press, but nobody knew any of the songs. On the day that Supersonic came out, bang, the crowd are right there. And I remember people singing the lyrics to Supersonic. You know, they're singing your words back that you nonsensically wrote down at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning.
For what you wanna say, but before tomorrow, this my friend said to take you home. Sits in a car alone. He lives under a waterfall. Nobody can see him. Nobody can ever hear him call.
We'll play a town, we'll go off and do the next, and then come back to that one you did a few weeks before. Do it again.
Trouble seemed to find us at any given point. We're barred from a full chain of hotels, and honestly, nowhere to take us anywhere.
I do remember one hotel, the whole bedroom went out the window. Mattress, pillows, everything. If it moves, fling it.
I could never understand it. You know, hotel rooms being smashed up. That's like hard work. You get sweat on?
What do you do? Go to bed at 10 o'clock every night? I don't think so. You know, you only get it once. You're going to live it to the full. Have it. And we did.
You can't ask a 21-year-old lad to be professional. It's like, I don't even understand that word. What are you on about? We're feeling supersonic and go to bed at 9:30. Give me gin and tonic, get my head down right about 10:30. Fuck off, mate, you know what I mean?
Although we argue and fucking hate each other and all that, because we're brothers, he sings Supersonic and he means it because I meant it. It's about passion. Brothers and family.
There was something very different about this band. Just had a devilish, belligerent, filthy little sound to it.
Coyley could really mix sound in little clubs. He was really good at making it sound fucking epic.
No, I didn't understand what feeling supersonic meant. But I'm with you, whatever it is, I'd die for you right now. That's how I felt about Oasis.
So do you get your friends working for you then so you can tour around in a big group and stuff?
No, just so we can exploit them. The thing is, if we didn't have them working for us, when we were away, they'd be burgling our houses. So it's best to have them for relatives, really.
You're being hyped as the best band around at the moment. Is all the hype true?
Yeah.
It is. Good.
The best band about today on the planet. It's a fact.
We're in a band, we're into football, we're into taking drugs, meeting women, and all the rest of it, right? And we won't deny anything that's been written about us. Why should we? They want to write about it, fine. Our music will stand the test of time. That is a fact, right? All this media hype and all this thing about us being this, that, and the other, right, will be dead in a year's time. Everyone will forgot about it. The records that we make will be in the shops forever.
Sing along with me.
A couple of friends of mine from Manchester suggested I go and check the band out live. You know, as soon as I saw them play, I didn't have any hesitation in getting involved. Since then, it's just basically the rise and rise of Oasis. It's the sort of thing rock and roll myths are made of, really.
It was a wild tour. At one point, we're going to Amsterdam to support this band from Wigan, The Verve, our first international gig. So this guy picks us up in a van, and he's going to be our roadie, Jason Rhodes.
Deft as a brush. Smart as a fucking dust. Marcus got in touch and went, right, I want to come to Amsterdam. I went, yep.
And I said to him, all right, nice to meet you, fucking forget that. Did they give you a float? And he's saying, no, that's for petrol, so never mind petrol. And we took the float off him and then spent about an hour driving around Manchester getting drugs and then set off.
Get on the ferry. I don't know how we get on the ferry because we're pissed, but we get on this ferry.
As fate would have it, there was a load of West Ham fans on this overnight ferry. It's got a casino on it and a fucking nightclub.
The Thursday night ferry to the Dam. Who goes to Amsterdam on a ferry for the weekend? What kind of clientele?
The drink of choice for a few hours, champagne and Jack Daniels slammers. The next thing is that sporadic fighting is breaking out all around us, really. Liam is very excited by the prospects of a lot of chaos going on, and he goes and joins in.
Yeah, it was fucking mayhem, man. I loved it.
You can see him running through the windows along the deck. He's having a great time. He looks like he's in a school playground chasing leaves.
Liam at one point said they ran through a casino and he flung all the roulette shit off the table as he was running past.
Then as a fight broke out, and all I remember was it was a bit Benny Hill.
The next time I see him, he's still running, but he's got policemen running after him.
Someone's punched someone, someone's kicked someone, someone's got nicked, and then we're handcuffed, sent down to the bottom of the boat. We get locked up.
Woke up next day and I spoke to the customs and I said, look, you know, I'm kind of missing 4 people. Do you know where they are?
We were heading back, not having any money. Couldn't phone anyone, couldn't do nothing.
I remember getting to the hotel and having to ring Marcus and Alec. And they're going, you fucking what? You what?
And he says, you fucking blown it, you blown it. But that was punk rock, man. Managed went, fuck them. Never listen to a word them clowns said anyway, you know what I mean?
I called McGee, and I'll never forget this, and this is another reason why I love McGee. I said, are you sitting down? I've got some news. Everybody's been arrested. The only word he said was, brilliant.
A hell of a start, that, innit? That's great first day at work. Love it.
Oasis were deported from Holland last week after they were involved in a drunken brawl on a cross-channel ferry. The Creation Act were forced to...
I thought it was great. That's how I want my rock and roll stars to act. Stick up for themselves, get in a bit of shenanigans, and that's it. We live to fight another day. To me, it felt right.
The thing about getting thrown off ferries, blah, 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 getting deported, is something that I'm not proud about. Well, I am now. Right, well, if you're proud about getting thrown off ferries, then why don't you go and support West Ham? Get the fuck out of my band. These lot think it's rock and roll to get thrown off a ferry. No, don't. To get... Shut up. These lot think it's rock and roll to get thrown... Shut the fuck up, man. These lot think... I'm going to have to say this, Fat, are you going to shut up?
Being portrayed as young hooligans, do you think that image is fair?
Is this my question? This is your question. Right, I ain't a hooligan. I'm not a hooligan. Right.
Obviously, once you get that reputation, there's always someone who's going to go, well, I'll show them. If they'd have never been in the paper having a ruck, that probably wouldn't have happened.
There was a full section of a tour. It was just going off every night. I felt that people were turning up to cause trouble. It was getting me down, if I'm being honest.
If you think you're a bit of a geezer, right, you ever through the fucking bottle, let's have you up here and I'll slap you in front of the crowd. Not here to get fucking things going out here. Fucking coconut star.
We were getting the reputation as these bad boys of rock and roll. That's all fucking great. But can we talk about the music first?
I think any band worth their salt is not about just the music. If you haven't got that kind of behaviour and you've just got great tunes, then you're fucking pretty boring as far as I'm concerned. It's about both. When both come together, you have greatness.
We showed their video a good couple of months ago. They've wasted no time in releasing a new single, Shaker Maker, Noel and Liam from Oasis.
Right.
Thanks for interrupting your hectic schedule. What's it like being brothers in a band?
He's speechless, look at that.
It's all right, I think it's all right, mate. I think it's very, very funny.
I mean, if you row, what sort of things do you row about?
Everything. Everything. We don't even have to row. All we've got to do is look at each other in a certain kind of way, and we row. Without even, like, opening our mouth. It's just going inside our heads, you know what I mean?
I hate the term sibling rivalry, but that's effectively what it is. I know my brother better than anybody else. Liam's like a dog, and I'm like a cat. Cats are very independent creatures. They don't give a fuck. Right bastards. Dogs are just fucking play with me, please. Fucking throw that ball for me. We fucking need some company. It's as basic as that. Can't change the way that you are.
So finally, aren't all members of Oasis expendable apart from you and Liam? Anyway.
I'm a cat, okay? That's just what I am. I've accepted it. I'm a bit of a bastard.
I don't know. I've got sort of moving from it. Might go far below now, so just go that.
What can I say? You know, I'm a bit of a cunt.
They're two brothers, grew up together. One's one way, one's the other. Noel has a lot of buttons. Liam has a lot of fingers. It's that simple, really.
It's about a power struggle, is what it is. It's about me being in charge and everybody directing everything towards me and Liam being pissed off about it. That's basically what starts it all.
I think it all stems down to when he bought a stereo years ago when we shared a room. And I think one night I'd come in pissed and I couldn't find the light switch, so I pissed all over his fucking new stereo. I think it basically boils down to that. He's held that grudge. You need to let go of them grudges, brother.
Democracy never works in a band. It's been proven a million times, and the trouble with Oasis is you had two people vying for the Prime Minister job. That tension, that antagonism, it drove that band. And it killed that band, is what it did.
No lifting in the arms. He's got a better stance than me. He's a dick.
Yeah, but anyway, right. It's all about what's inside the fucking tin of beans. That counts. Not what the fucking wrapper is, or how much it costs, or who you buy it off, or what till you get it from. Or even if it's your Spar, your Quick Save, or your fucking Sainsbury's. Man, it's about what's inside the tin of beans, man. And, like, if it's right, it's right. It's gonna be beans,
If this ever goes on like a video to the kids,
right?
I would apologise, but I'm not going to, because he's a prick.
One, two, one, two, one, one, two.
When people go, oh, what's the best thing about Oasis, was just getting that chance to record our album. Because we knew we weren't going to fuck it up. We were ripping, man.
So, we've been to Mono Valley, recorded what we thought was a great album. Everybody else surrounding the band kept chanting this mantra, oh, it doesn't sound like they do live, it doesn't sound like they do live. And I'm like, well, who does it fucking sound like? Spandau Ballet?
I said to Noel Gallagher, it's not good enough. I knew what Oasis should sound like because I'd seen it live, and I just knew that performances were wrong. At one point, he was so frustrated with the whole thing, he went, look, why don't we just put it out and we'll get it right in the second album? And I went, you'll never get to the second album.
It was not happening. The pressure was definitely on.
I phoned up Marcus one Saturday morning.
I really trust Mark Coyle to make this.
I do. Well, he just knows.
Yep.
You know?
He'll fucking create the sound, I think. Do you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah. No, I was like, oh, look, fucking hell, it's done, you know, let's move on. Yeah. He just wants to get on with it and finish it.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know why they took that risk. just putting me in charge of that. No track record whatsoever.
The thinking is, who does the live sound? Mark does. So let's go do it live.
Time for plan B on Definitely Maybe.
Thank God for that, you know, because we all knew that Coyley understood us, he got us, he always made us sound how we should sound.
We hit upon this system in the sawmills. Everything was crowded round the drum kit. We just do 3 takes of each song and then move on.
I would have thought that album was recorded in 3 days, maximum. But I started mixing and didn't really sound very good. I think at that stage, I took it as far as I could.
I do remember taking a cassette, the final mix that we did with Mark to McGee's flat, and sensing that he was completely underwhelmed by it. And me thinking, fuck it, I give up.
Marcus announces that he's going to get Owen Morris to do a mix on spec.
Marcus got me in, because I don't think he knew anybody else. So I was very lucky to be in the right place.
And I'm thinking, well, what's he done? You know, I don't get it. He did one mix, and it was just outrageous.
A session, that's when I met Liam. You know, I told him he sounded like John Lennon. He's like, you got it. And like 1 in the afternoon, Liam lead vocal, rock and roll star.
All of my city, and there's no easy way out. The day's moving just too fast for me.
And I was like, that sounds great, that'll do. And they let me do exactly what I wanted. And there was this new box, and you could make things twice as loud without going into digital distortion on your CD. It was in every fucking jukebox in the country, twice as loud. Funny as fuck, man.
It's just a pity that Definitely Maybe came out, and then we didn't see Alan for a couple of years.
I took too many drugs. More, that's what we were all about, and eventually it was too much.
Just, that's what happens, isn't it, when you play with fire, mate? Some people can last the pace, some people can't.
Do you know what? I don't regret any of that shit. That's just life.
We didn't know it then, but he was the last of a dying breed. He's up there with the most important people in my life, you know what I mean, that's made a fucking real difference.
What can people expect from the first Oasis album?
12 songs that are about being alive and having a good time. About being happy, about enjoying yourself.
And then about being sad. You know what I mean? About knowing that you can get better. About everything, just life.
We run the risk every day, right, of being the most arrogant fucking bastards in the music business. We know we're the greatest band in this fucking country. Yeah. When Monday afternoon comes and our record's on the shelves, we've achieved what we set out to do. After Monday afternoon, we are cursed to be eternally bored.
Their debut album is already being hailed as a classic of our time. A year ago, they were playing to empty venues. Last night, they embarked on their first UK sellout tour. One of the biggest British bands since the Beatles.
There isn't a band like Oasis. They're trying to get the youth culture out of raves, taking drugs and stuff, and back into the gigs where they belong. And they're really good, and Liam Gallagher is just gorgeous, and I have his children.
Our first single came out in England 4 months ago. It went in charts at number 32. Everyone said an indie band can't do that. Well, the album's gone out, and it's gone in straight at number 1, above Pavarotti, above Prince, and even above Elvis. The fastest selling debut album of all time in England, and quite deservedly so.
Here's rock and roll star. I'm gonna save my car, 'cause I will buy. You're not concerned about the way we are. In my mind, my dreams are real. Not concerned about the way I feel. Tonight, I'm a rock and roll star. Tonight, I'm a rock and roll star. It's just rock and roll. It's just rock and roll. It's just rock and roll. Thank you very much.
We can create the future. It's not up to us, you know what I mean? All we can do is write and record. But as for 1994, oh, this is our year, without a shadow of a doubt, no one can touch us this year.
So next thing you know, we were going to Japan. What do you expect? I've never been to Japan. So you think, all right, I'm prepared, you know. Nah, nothing ever on this planet was going to prepare me. Japan. Japan.
We arrived in Japan and there was fucking like 1,000 girls at the airport.
People waiting for us and shouting my name, Liam, no, Greg, Tony. And it was just like, fuck off. It's like, this is Japan, but they know my name. Yeah, of course they do. It got me and I loved it. I loved every last minute of it.
Fucking hell. Followed us everywhere. Outside hotels, in the fucking foyer, outside your room, in your fucking room, everywhere you went. It was like mania, do you know what I mean? It was like what we'd always read about.
First time in Tokyo, right? Yeah, first time in Japan, first time on a jumbo plane. It's just mental, you know what I mean? It's mad.
Last message for the Japanese viewers?
It's just all off your heads and it's mad and it's stop. And I love yous all.
I absolutely love Japan. It was fucking mayhem. Griggs wasn't too keen on it. He was like, oh, it's not what they're fussing about. I'm like, ah, me, you fucking lunatic. That's what they're fussing about.
Is it my imagination, or have I finally found something worth living for? I was looking for some action, but all I found was cigarettes and alcohol.
That might have been the one time in my life where I thought, fucking hell, wow. How has it landed here? Why are all these people who don't speak English obsessed with it already before we even fucking plugged in and played?
To spend your days in the sunshine, you might as well be the white line, 'cause when it comes on top, you gotta make it happen. You gotta make it happen.
I was writing for a Nancy Boys magazine as far as they were concerned. I knew that I was 10 years older than them. I was female, and it was all blokes. I was a mum. I just thought, right, I'm going to stay up later than you, I'm going to drink more than you, I'm going to behave more badly than you, because I wasn't going to get the story otherwise. The first night in Japan, we'd all been out, and we'd been about 3 o'clock in the morning. My head had just hit the pillow and the phone rang. He was calling me. Picked up the phone, and it was Liam. Get down here now. So I walked down the corridor back into a room, and Liam said to me, and honestly, it was like he was shimmering. He just said to me, do you believe in God? Do you think there's a God? And I sort of looked at him and I said, how did we get onto this one? He said, because I don't believe there's a God. Because if there was a God, all that wouldn't have happened. And I said, what wouldn't have happened? I didn't know what he was on about. There was all this pent-up, simmering rage.
I was definitely angry with life and that, I guess, you know what I mean? You know, shit with me dad and just life in general. I was an angry young man. Singing them songs sort of released all my shit onto other people, but in a good way, you know what I mean? And my dad used to knock me mum about. There was many times when, like, it got like that. He never touched me. I don't know why he didn't. And, you know, sometimes you'd want the crack instead of having to witness it.
He used to kill Noel. Noel was the one that got it the most. I remember Noel once saying, if you don't get out of here, Mum, and leave him, he says, I'm going to kill him. And I thought, oh, Jesus, you can't be doing time for the likes of him.
Yeah, my dad used to beat the living daylights out of me. I've never felt compelled to either talk about it or write about it. I know that I think it's no one else's business. You can't let that kind of thing affect you in any way, because then you're carrying that weight all the way through life.
He always thought you'd never leave him, because you'd know where to go to. You'll never leave me. I said, won't I? Try it. One night, we got the courage to get out, and I left him a knife and a fork and a spoon, and I think I left him too much.
Well, he never once come after us. Wouldn't dare. It's a sense of, see you later, we're free.
It definitely affected them, because they got very bitter.
I wouldn't say I was scarred, but everybody's childhood makes them what they are. You can't think about it too deeply because it would fucking drive you mad. I think it benefited me in the way that it made me withdraw into my own world, and from that came the learning to play the guitar. I guess in some way, my old fella beat the talent into me.
On Live 105, Oasis Supersonic, yeah.
The contrast of getting on a plane and coming from Japan, where the mania was like fucking blam, then getting to America, where nobody had heard of us, that didn't freak me out. I was ready to start again, you know what I mean? But I also knew that you won't get anywhere on attitude in the States. You've got to be able to play.
Yeah, Oasis.
I went over there with definitely a fucking chip on my shoulder, but a good chip, you know what I mean? It was like, look, we're going to fucking have yous, and if you like us, great. If you don't, give a shit.
American customs been asked a question to fucking blow Liam's mind, you know what I mean?
All right, what we got here then?
He's a singer.
What's the purpose of your visit? You what? What fucking visit? I'm not visiting, mate. I'm fucking rock star. I'm here to steal your soul. Okay, you can follow me now, sir. You're coming this way.
There's all this pressure that's on the bands to break America as well, you know. But breaking America quite often breaks the fucking band because they're that concerned about it, and it's that vast. Fuck me, man. You have a good time and all that, but I'll tell you what, when you get home, your carpet don't look the same.
And we've got the two Gallagher brothers from the band Oasis. You're playing at the Whiskey tonight. Is it sold out?
Of course
Do you know?
it's sold out.
Okay. And what have you been doing?
We've just been doing all those interviews and gigs. Working, and Melissa's been making us work that hard. She's on top.
I think what they said was there were some interviews and hanging out and doing work and stuff.
So you're right.
I'll be the translator here.
Doodle, 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 doodle. Take a root, boom.
Anything else?
Someone had discovered the joys of crystal meth, which is effectively like ninja speed. It's not even fun, you know what I mean? It's a fucking horrible drug.
I don't know who fucking got it, but it was there, and we all thought it was coke. And we were doing big fucking lines of it, and it just fucking kept us up for days.
Everybody had a dig at it. The only problem with that is that you couldn't get sleep. You couldn't sleep, right? I don't mind having a dig at anything, as long as, you know, come about 10:30 at night, cup of tea and go to bed.
The Whiskey A Go-Go on Sunset Strip, fucking hell. It's the most famous club in LA. We get to the sound check, everybody's been up all night and looked like it.
All right, LA, Whiskey A Go-Go. This is the spot. The best band in Britain. I say we're the best band in the universe. None other than Oasis.
There you have it. This one's called Rock and Roll Star.
Everyone was appalling. Every member of the crew, every member of the fucking band, because of crystal meth.
Phil Smith, our roadie, was responsible for putting the set lists out. For some reason, my set list was different to everybody else's.
They were all playing different songs at the same time. Whoa, what's going on here?
It was a shambles, man. It was an absolute fucking shambles.
Do it again for you, you know.
And the whole thing just fell apart. I'd never seen it with this band before.
Right, rock and roll star. Again.
I think there were a lot of tension on stage, a lot of gesturing between Noel and Liam, a lot more from Liam to Noel, and then, yeah, the tambourine came flying.
I think he said something, and then I fucking launched the tambourine at him or something.
Not like the Bruce Lee throwing star or a fucking lightsaber, it was a tambourine. But when it hit me on the shoulder, went out of time, I might add.
It's lucky I didn't fucking launch a monitor at him or something, or a fucking drummer.
I could see Liam was going behind one of the amps throughout the gig, man, and he was just snorting lines of crystal meth on stage. That's gonna go tits up, innit?
That's all feeling supersonic in Los Angeles. Are you all just faking it?
It was a bit of a catastrophe. Yeah, I was in a fury. I left a little bit of me on that stage that night. After that night, it was more me and them as opposed to us. I remember going back to the hotel and saying to Maggie, our tour manager, I think I took the float off her.
Noel was quite upset about it. He said, can you give me money? And I said to him, well, what do you want? He goes, well, enough money to go back home. So I just gave him like $700. That's all I had, I said, you know? He said, can I have my passport? So I gave him a passport. I remember ringing up Marcus saying, he's going to leave. He's like, no, it'll be fine, He's going to sleep it off, it'll be fine, I was like, I don't think so.
I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I thought it was the end. I really don't know.
He takes the money and runs. I remember some fucking soppy note coming through the door saying, like, how can we go on like brothers? It was like, fuck, right off. So that got rolled up, and then another line of crystal meth went up the old fucking tubular bells.
So I woke up in the morning and I found a note underneath my door. And I opened it up and I knew it. He said, I'm leaving. Bollocks.
He's gone missing. Nobody knows where he is.
There's a songwriter gone. Shit. I think it's really over, isn't it?
I came up with this idea. I got his bill, and then I traced all the last numbers he rang. And then I noticed there was one number, 415. I thought, San Francisco. We've just been to San Francisco. And I knew that he had some little fling over there. Mark, he's like, I'm going to ring the number. So he gets her on the phone. He says, you know, we're not saying anything, but